This week in T1D, covering June 28th through July 11th, 2026. 6 type 1 diabetes stories from the past 2 weeks, every claim sourced on screen. First, the Omnipod pod leak issue is now a Class I recall, the FDA's most serious level. Certain lots of Omnipod 5- and Eros pods can have a small tear in the cannula, letting insulin leak out instead of reaching the body. The leak can be silent, with no alarm, just unexplained highs. As of May 20th, Insulet had reported 24 serious injuries and no deaths. The lots and the advice haven't changed since the June early alert. The classification did. This is separate from the earlier March Omnipod 5 recall. Source: FDA recall notice, July 2nd. Next, the Human 1 trial in the Lancet Diabetes and Endocrinology randomized 400 young people aged 7 to 25 with type 1 in Bangladesh and Tanzania to either the analogue insulin glargine or older human insulin. At 6 months, the two looked similar. By 12 months, glargine had cut time spent very low and overnight lows at a lower dose and with fewer injections, without meaningfully changing A1C. The gain was in dangerous lows, not average control, and it took a year to appear. Source: The Lancet Diabetes and Endocrinology. On the device front, Tandem's T-Slim X2 pump, running Control-IQ Plus automated insulin delivery, can now pair with Abbott's Freestyle Libre 3 Plus sensor in the UK, Switzerland, Sweden, Finland, and Italy. The same pairing launched in the US last October, with Belgium, the Netherlands, and Germany expected later this year. It's an availability update, more choice in which CGM feeds the loop, not a new study. Source: Tandem Diabetes Care press release. In research, McGill University tested a fully automated insulin system that adds a second hormone, pramlintide, and needs no carb counting. In 26 adults with type 1, it held glucose in range about as well as a standard automated system that still requires counting carbs. But this is a small trial presented at a conference, not yet peer-reviewed. It narrowly missed its main statistical goal, and some participants had nausea. It's research, not an approved product, and it doesn't replace insulin. Source: ADA Scientific Sessions. A study in diabetes care followed 1,370 adults with type 1 on a CGM or an automated pump for a year. Time spent low fell, and so did fear of lows, but at any given point, that fear showed no clear correlation with the actual low readings on the monitor. It suggests fear of lows is driven by more than the numbers. It's a retrospective analysis, so it can't prove cause. Source: Diabetes Care. And finally, the DAISY study, which has followed at-risk Colorado children since the 1990s, reported in Diabetes Care that islet autoimmunity, the earliest stage of type 1, often years before symptoms, is rising over time. It rose in children with moderate risk genes, not just the highest risk ones. That points towards something in the environment, not genes alone, pushing risk upward. It doesn't diagnose anyone or change day-to-day care. It's a clue for researchers. Source: Diabetes Care. That's the fortnight. This is news, not medical advice. Always talk to your care team before changing anything about your management. New recap every 2 weeks. Subscribe to T1D Pulse.